Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Tales of a Local Gamer. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about day 1 and day 2 of E3, going over the major announcements and giving my opinion and review of what it showed. So this is a two-part video. Part 1 is what you're listening to now, and the second part would be coming soon. So yeah, thank you. It's been an exhausting 2 days, entertaining, stressful, but I've had a lot of fun watching several streams. Even Games Radar streams on right now while I'm recording this, but let's just say I'm kind of burnt out on watching streams right now. So I decided to record all my thoughts from the first 2 days. Lots of things to cover. I'll mostly dwell on the announcements from today because Xbox conference held today, Square Enix conference held today. We had some good deals there. Yesterday was fair. I'll say overall, I'll give you yesterday C plus day 1 with the Ubisoft Forward, Gearbox conference, and Koch Media presentation, as well as the Guerrilla Collective presentation. For me, I'll give it a C plus to B minus. Today, I'll give today's own a strong B plus. B plus. Not an A or an S, but at least I'll give it a strong B plus. It was really good, but not amazing for me. Let's get into it. Yesterday, I didn't have much expectations going into yesterday's presentations. I really wasn't expecting much from many of the companies, and anything we got, and I would say I was quite impressed. Overall, I followed mainly the E3 channel on YouTube, because of course I love Greg Miller from Kind of Funny, so I made sure I wanted to watch from there specifically. And I generally don't like watching reaction videos. I just like it when people are talking over certain aspects of the video. So generally I avoid watching live reaction videos or live reaction streams. So for me, Ubisoft Forward kicked off, and I didn't go in expecting much. Unfortunately, one of my predictions about having a Mario and Rabbids 2 announcement was already leaked by Nintendo earlier in the day, so that was already spoiled. I didn't get to see Beyond and Evil 2. That was sad. But we did get to see a whole lot of Riders Republic, and that was really fun. The game looked really interesting, and it's something I could look into to play for fun. It looks really fun. Large, massive multiplayer game. It looks really fun. I think about 64 players on a single map, having a single race. Really cute, really nice stuff. Impressive for Ubisoft game. One thing I liked about Ubisoft game is that they have different styles of games. They have the open world Ubisoft games, what they're known for, the Ubisoft Studio open world games. They also showcased their Just Dance. They also showcased this music game. I can't believe I'm blanking out on that right now. I'll put it up in the screen. So they showcased some cool stuff yesterday. I was not impressed. I'll probably rate that conference a strong B. Let's call it a strong B. It did okay. It wasn't amazing, but they did okay. The Avatar announcements. With rumors of announcement of them making an Avatar game based on the James Cameron Avatar movie has been around, or I don't know if it's a rumor or an announcement, but I'll check that up and be sure. And we've not heard about it since then, but now it's up, and the CG trailer looked good. no direct gameplay. So hopefully we get that very soon. That was disappointing, but yeah, at least for the first look of the game, it was really cool for them to show it. Of course, we got some updates to the regular games like Assassin's Creed, I think Trackmania. Yeah, so we got some updates, and in terms of new announcements, I don't think they really announced anything new in the forward yesterday. Nah, nothing stuck out, minus the Avatar game. That was the only technically new announcement. Yeah, but we just got updates to Assassin's Creed, like a brief roadmap. They're going to be supporting Assassin's Creed for up to 2 years, which is good. So, yeah, they improved on that. And it means we're not expecting another Assassin's Creed till next year. Well, I think that was definitely a likely decision because, Valhalla was a big game. And I think they will need more time, to, especially due to the pandemic, to get another game ready within a year. So, yeah, late next year, sure, we'll get another Assassin's Creed game. And that was it. Nothing major. The conference was just okay. Nothing too drastic. Yeah. And there was also a Koch Media presentation. Not really sure of the pronunciation. There seems to be a discussion on that, but I don't care. It's Koch Media. To me. But I'll look up the pronunciation for next time. So yeah. So for Koch Media, I didn't watch it, but I heard it was disastrous. But I'm not gonna take my time to do that. Anyway, for the Gearbox showcase, honestly, I wasted my time. I felt really bad that I actually sat down and dedicated, I think, 30 minutes of my time to watch that showcase. It was embarrassing. It was ridiculous. If you don't have anything sensible to show, you don't need to hold a showcase. You don't need to hold a showcase. Because as far as I'm concerned, the whole point of that showcase was to just talk about the movie. I'm not sitting down watching a 30 minutes E3 stream at night because I'm in Nigeria, so it's at night for me. I think it was around 10 yesterday or 11 p.m. and you're showing me clips of a movie. Sorry, you're showing me behind the scenes clips of a movie. I'm not interested in that. I'm not. Honestly, I get Gearbox, I get Randy Pitchford, but honestly, that was embarrassing. They didn't need to do that. We didn't even get proper gameplay clips of Tiny Tina's Wonderland. All we got was just blurry ass screenshots. It was honestly annoying as hell. I'm like, how many times are they going to announce Homeworld 3 is in development? They did that like 3 times during the stream. Like, we get it. We know Homeworld 3 is in development. You don't have to keep telling us. And they announced Godfall on the PlayStation 4, which I expected. In fact, I felt confused when they launched it on PlayStation 5 alone last year because, yes, the PS5, new hardware, shiny graphics, improved FPS, but honestly, the game did not look special. It should have been on the PlayStation 4. It should have been on the PlayStation 4. More people get to play it. I felt they could have spent more time on the DLC. At least that was something cool and new. Spend more time on it, talk about what PlayStation 4 owners are getting. At least go into detail and, highlight what PlayStation 4 owners are getting at launch or something. But you spend more time talking about the movie and the Borderlands movie, and honestly, that was not what I stood up to 10 o'clock to watch. Yeah, it was nice seeing Kevin Hart, and I could see the enthusiasm in Kevin's face about the movie, and he seems to be having fun. But I think we could have done that on YouTube in their own channel, or maybe on Twitter, not E3. This is not what E3 is about. So I was pissed off about the Gearbox conference, honestly. I stayed up late to watch that and it wasn't fun. I give that my rating. If I want to do number rating, I'll just give it a 4 over 10, for horrible. It was less than average, waste of time, nothing more. Just give it 4 because they showed Godfall and they added a new announcement to Godfall. So I thought I'd give it 4. At least it elaborated more on Tiny Tina's Wonderland, even though it didn't make much difference. They just repeated the same trailer we saw at Summer Games Fest, Kickoff Live, and we've been seeing all through the conferences. Really annoying as hell. Anyway, there was also the Guerrilla Collective stream. They had a lot of indie games that they also Day of the Dev stream. I think that was after Summer Game Fest. Yeah, I've talked about that already. So yeah, it was Guerrilla Collective stream. Honestly, many games that I can't really pick my hand on. But I know there were a couple that I felt interested in. One of them was, of course, beats per minute, BPM. That was a really interesting game. The concept of your attacks going along with the beat of the background music was really cool. I liked the part where they were finishing off a boss and the final attacks were like a crescendo. I think that's how the developer described it in the trailer, like a crescendo of a song. It was really cool and impressive. I think there was another game, I think Wandering Island. That was another cool game. It looked really interesting. I saw there were some other games there that I couldn't really get their names, but I think these were the 2 that stood out to me yesterday in the whole stream. Many fun, interesting, cool looking games yesterday from the streams. One of the cool things I've enjoyed about watching E3 this way or having a digital event is that you get to see many obscure games and many indie games that I probably wouldn't have sat down to. If it was a traditional E3, I probably wouldn't have sat down to read the articles or watch the streams of these companies. But since everything is digital, Ubisoft, Sony, and everybody's just doing playing trailers anyway. So why not sit down for 1 hour and ad and watch some indie trailers? So many of the games look good. It was really cool. Really cool. I think that was all for me yesterday. Overall, yesterday was cool. In terms of my rating for the Guerrilla Collective, I rated it B for effort and, of course, for the cool amount of variety, cool games they showed yesterday. A solid 7/10 for me. And then moving on, if I'm going to go to today, which was probably the best day of E3 so far. Oh, yeah, after Summer Games Fest Kickoff Live, today was probably the best day of this E3 season so far. So many announcements, so many things. The day kicked off with Xbox Bethesda showcase, and man, it was packed. I think they showed about 30 games, several of those games coming to Xbox Game Pass Day 1. I said in my last video that Xbox needs to really, really showcase why they want people to buy their console, why they need to really differentiate themselves from Sony. Really show that lots of those investments they've done in the last years have, paid off, and the fans that have bought their consoles in the hopes that they'll be able to get good games. We'll get good games, and they should be able to satisfy them. They've done that, at least so far, with the announcements they've made. If I was an Xbox owner, I should be happy. Yes, of course, it may look sad when I say competition, or as a consumer, you don't really have competition, but if you've invested into the Xbox system and then you look over at the PlayStation side and you see something like Rift Apart, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart coming out, full ray tracing, looking gorgeous, getting good reviews, and you don't have something like that on your system that you invested in, $500 is not cheap for anybody. So you may not be happy with the situation. Even with this showcase, I don't think you may be happy with that, because right now the top quality games that you are hoping to get, top quality AAA blockbuster games Sony is used to making, you are not getting that right now. But at least towards the end of the year, they start coming out little by little. Starting with the Microsoft Flight Simulator, that's a top quality AAA game. It may not be the narrative single player great experience, but it's a wonderful experience all the same. Coming to consoles, so I think, as an Xbox fan, you may not really have those core games that you're expecting from them in the future, core single player games you're expecting from them in the future, but they're coming. It's obvious, but at least Xbox is making strides compared to last year, which was barren, and most of this year, I think, and towards the end of this year, the effort starts to show, and I know by next year it should be better. So highlights of the conference for me, of course, was Starfield, release next year, 11/11/12. Really cool trailer. Nothing too major. We didn't really see much gameplay, so at least it exists and there's a release date to it. We'll probably see more of it next year, E3 or towards release. And yeah, that's majorly it for Starfield. They showed Stalker 2, with ray tracing. Looked really good. It's based on the trailer, some cool reflections on the water and puddles on the ground. So yeah, it looked great. I'm not really, I won't say I'm familiar with the series. Of course, I know the Stalker series, but I haven't played any of those games yet. And of course, they showed Left 4 Dead, which released on October 12th. I'm glad people get a release date for that. I don't know if the release date for that was out already, but yeah, it released on October 12th. Showed some brief gameplay of that. I know many people have been, Back for Blood. The names confuse me. So they show Back for Blood, which releases October 4th. A spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead. Yeah, Back for Blood. I know many people have been looking towards, hoping for more details on Back 4 Blood, and I'm happy they got it. They also played a short trailer of Contraband. Really nice collaboration with Disney, and Rare to bring Jack Sparrow and the whole pirate. I think not the whole, at least a lot of Pirates of the Caribbean characters to Sea of Thieves. If I had an Xbox and I had Sea of Thieves, I probably would get that expansion. I love the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I love Jack Sparrow. I love the character. I love the whole Pirates of the Caribbean universe. The 4 or 5 movies I've watched have all been super interesting, so I probably will get that. Then, of course, the whole Yakuza series, mainline series, is on Xbox Game Pass. And of course, starting today, Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon, also on Xbox Game Pass. So, yeah, making big strides Xbox, and I'm really happy for Microsoft. They're pulling out all the stops. Yeah, they showed trailers for Battlefield, the new Battlefield 2042. It looked great. Honestly, I'm not really a first-person shooter person, but it looks great. It's something I probably would like to try with a group of friends. Massive multiplayer game with a group of friends. Yeah, it's something that in the future I could try out. Also, 12 minutes was shown. Just a cool trailer. Release date is August 19. The release date for Psychonauts, August 25, also dropped. Oh yeah, that's a Microsoft console exclusive. I forgot to mention 12 minutes is launching on Game Pass so Day 1. Psychonauts, of course, an Xbox exclusive, launching on Game Pass Day 1, August 25. Bethesda announced 10 titles coming to Xbox Game Pass from their vault, or at least the games that are not yet on Game Pass. So 10 of them will be coming to Xbox Game Pass. They've been doing good, and they've been doing good. So yeah, I think Doom will be getting the next gen update, and that will have ray tracing. And of course, I expected this, considering the fact that on the last Nvidia stream, they announced Doom RTX, so I expected ray tracing capabilities to come to the next gen consoles. Now I'm not really sure if that's coming to PlayStation 5 too, because they only put Xbox consoles on that video, but I doubt it though. Well, it doesn't make sense that it won't come to PlayStation 5, but if it doesn't, we can get it, but it should come to PlayStation 5. It can run, the next gen version, I'm sure. There's no reason why it shouldn't get the same quality. I don't think. Yes, yeah, it's closer to Xbox now, but the game is on PS5, so unless they're not gonna release a next gen update for PS5, which is gonna be sad, but I feel they should do that and let people be able to buy the game and enjoy ray tracing. An update for Fallout 76 will be coming in 2022, a large one. I think a smaller update will be coming on July 7, I believe. Yeah, so yeah, July 7, so a smaller update should come out then. Also, we get the announcement of Hades release on Xbox, and it'll be on Game Pass day 1, August 13. And they also showed off Somerville. They showed off some other game, I think Slime Hunter. Check that out to verify the name. But yeah, they showed us some other cool games. Then they showed off, of course, Halo Infinite multiplayer. Jeff Grubb of Games Beats, in one of the podcasts I listened to, mentioned the fact that we won't be seeing single player Xbox Halo Infinite gameplay. I was disappointed, but he turned out to be right, and he usually is when it comes to Xbox. So yeah, no single player of Halo Infinite. So we got the cool trailer showcasing the multiplayer of Halo Infinite, and yes, a free battle royale multiplayer. So it's free to play, so you can join when it releases holiday 2021. No specific release date was gotten for Halo Infinite, but we hope it comes out this year. I was not happy to see holiday 2021 because I just felt like, in the business wise, it won't make much sense to not have your biggest game out this year when you delayed it last year. So yeah, I feel they should do that. Outer Wilds 2 was announced in a pretty funny trailer, and yeah, I think most people predicted that will come out. Then of course they announced Forza Horizon 5, which takes place in Mexico or Mexico. And honestly, probably one of the best review games I've seen this E3. The showing the location, cool music, and of course catching a glimpse of the car. The whole trailer was just awesome. I was impressed. If I had money and I had an Xbox and the game was coming out today, after watching that trailer, I'll probably buy that game instantly. No doubt. A lot of these video game conferences, a lot of them heavy marketing based, the scripted brands, communication, the scripted, talks and interviews. Many of them are just so heavily scripted, and sometimes it can get boring to watch when you hear people read out through this carefully worded, scripted, presentation of the game using the common, video game buzzwords like, immersion and, exploration, and, we get that, and it's normal, and it's part of the gaming industry in terms of marketing at this point, and they can't just go away. You want people. The word immersion seems to make people get interested in the game, so I understand that. Use all those big words, but that for me, that opening of that trailer was just perfect. That's just, yeah, expect this game, and it was cool. I'm not one to force CGI trailers normally, but if you want to do a CGI trailer, that's how you do it. Do that, and let us be impressed. Yeah, I was super impressed. And of course, they started the whole scripted marketing discussion, and the Forza Horizons usual, having multiple people playing and multiple people making really scripted dialogue, pretending to be playing the game. Yeah, we get that. It's normal. But yeah, it was a good showing. The fact that it comes out on November 9th this year. It's honestly crazy. So Xbox gamers have so many games coming to Game Pass. Not only do they have that, they get the chance to play Microsoft Flight Simulator this year too. And that's next month, July 7th, July 27th. Many third-party games coming out in October. And I don't blame them. The fall season in gaming can be a huge bloodbath. You don't want to get caught up with third parties like the Far Cry's, the FIFA, the NBA 2K, the Maddens. You honestly don't want to get caught up in that fall season of heavy competition. So, it's like release early summer or you release December or late November. And of course, releasing in late November, you run the risk of competing with Nintendo and the Pokemon games, and if Nintendo decides to release any big Mario game in December, which they don't usually do, but you run the risk of competing with them in November period. So you should avoid late November to due to Pokemon. But of course, depending on the IP you are releasing and the franchise you're releasing, I think you can stand a chance against Pokemon if you release not too far from that. So yeah, I understand why they probably won't have many releases for those period, and they're not really sure where they want to put Halo Infinite now. The way I'm looking at it, so I don't think it will release in this holiday season. So I'm just getting a November release date, maybe close to Black Friday for Halo Infinite, or not so far from Black Friday for Halo Infinite. Then they announced Redfall from Arcane Studios. So the first-person shooter, I want to believe, where you fight against vampires. We didn't get gameplay and we didn't get to see much of the game, but at least should an announcement comes out summer next year, summer 2022. Honestly, I doubt that game will come out summer 2022, but also got some couple of announcements. But I think for me, those are the major ones that stood out to me. Maybe some smaller announcements in between in the Microsoft conference, I think I'll be done with this video now. Just a pause, and then I'll recap on the other half later.